This next story involves a little person comedian. This is what they want to be called. I'm not trying to insult anyone here today. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is what I got to say. I'm nice. I'm a really nice person trying to warn the public. We've got a little person comedian named Brad Williams. He's a comedian. He's great. Let's introduce him. Found a moment years ago where Brad Williams, that comic we just saw, Eddie Ift, and Doug Benson were sitting around, and they took a listener question about what it was like to be on tour with Carlos Mencia. Remember, Brad Williams used to be Carlos Mencia, the world's most villainous comedian. You know, we all know about him. And this could really damage Carlos Mencia, what I'm about to tell you here today, as well. I mean, this really goes deep. So this is all alleged, and this is all out of Brad's mouth. I'm not accusing Brad of anything here today. I want to make that perfectly clear. We played this clip that you're about to see. It's been digitally remastered here today. It's been dug up from the archives and pieced together. We played you this clip that we're about to play you today years ago on Redbar. This is back when we were just filming with a cheap webcam. We had a tiny TV here, and I was playing the clip on this TV, and it was Brad Williams, and he tells a story, and you're about to hear this story, and he tells a story that was so wrong that it was deleted from the internet, never to be seen again. Until today. Yes! The tape is back! The episode of Getting Doug with High that I had played years ago on this very show was deleted the very next day after I played it. Because Brad Williams said something so damning about himself on that very show. Now, for years since then, people have been asking, Mike, we got to bring this back up. This seems unfinished. It seems like people should know about this, and it's kind of weird that Brad Williams, the comic, is trying to hide this from the internet. So he got Doug Benson to delete the video that I'm about to play you here today. And throughout the years, every time a Redbar listener, because this only happened here on Redbar, nobody else really knew about this. You're about to know about it here today, of course. Redbar listeners have always been bringing this tape up to Brad, and Brad has been very defensive. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about, and I showed you this on the last show, but this is what sparked me to reopen this case here today. Jason Buck, one of our listeners, Jason Buck, was scrolling through Instagram, and he sees Andrew Santino post something about Brad Williams, having Brad Williams on, and you've all seen this, right? Everybody's watched Brad Williams' career flourish, and everybody except Brad is a reasonable little dude. So Andrew Santino says, I met Brad Williams' comic on midgetmatch.com, and we're in love. Tag a friend who sits in your lap and listens to Whiskey Ginger, link in bio. Okay, he's joking around. He's promoting his new episode with Brad Williams. Now, one of our listeners gets into this comment section, and he says this. Didn't Brad Williams get caught admitting he raped a girl? Seems like a cool guy. I don't know. Didn't Brad Williams get caught admitting he raped a girl? What's this about? So he comments this on Andrew Santino's page, and a few moments later, this listener notices his comment was deleted. Oh dear. Why was that comment deleted? Then the listener who wrote that comment gets this DM from Brad Williams, the little person comedian himself. Listen to this. This is Brad Williams messaging the guy who left the comment. Listen to this. Hey, Jason, just letting you know, I asked Andrew to delete your comment, but I wanted to tell you the story. I made a horrible joke in my 20s, and I've been paying for it ever since by a select few who heard it. Us. He's been paying for it ever since. Huh? I haven't made him pay. While I'm no angel, but I absolutely have never done anything that horrible. Please refrain from saying things like that in the future, because that's how awful rumors get started that have the potential to ruin careers in this time where people believe the headline and not the facts behind the story. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Now, this isn't the first report. I've been getting tons of these over the years, and I keep going, yeah, we'll play you the Brad Williams clip. And we'll go over this story that he so desperately wants erased from the internet. Look how he's going out of his way. Delete that. Nervous. I asked Andrew to delete that. This could ruin my career. It was a joke. And he keeps saying, I believe he even spoke to me years ago. I got the worst memory, man. My memory is so fuzzy. So don't hold me to this. Well, hold me to it. I believe he called me after I played this clip originally, right after I played it. And he started saying stuff like, it was a joke. You know, and it was very similar to that scene in The Sopranos where they walk into the gay bar and they see one of their fellow mafia guys all dressed in leather and he's gay and they go, what the fuck? And he goes, it's a joke! It's a joke! That was the best fucking line. He didn't know what to do. He just scrambled it and said, it's a joke. Is it a joke or did you get caught? I don't know. We're going to find out today. We're going to play you this footage. I've taken the footage. This is what I did, and I'll show you what I did here today. I took the footage. I went through the old clip because I was such a loudmouth a-hole. Not like now. Now I've learned how to be like really cool and everybody really likes me. But back then I was such a loudmouth guy, so I edited out all my commentary from this old show, and I just cropped the clip that we played, the now deleted clip.
We also didn't want anyone to see your outfits.
Exactly. My outfits were very outdated. It just wouldn't make sense in today's climate. So here it is. Look at this. Digitally remastered. And remember, this was taken from a very small TV and blown. Okay. You get it. It's remastered. It's here. I have the clip. Would you like to hear the clip?
Let's hear it.
This is... I want to issue this warning. If you've ever been raped, if you've ever been beaten or abused, this will trigger you. This is about rape. This is about abuse. Or it could be a very funny Brad Williams joke. We're going to figure it out today. Let's take a listen.
What does that mean?
Is that slang for shitting on yourself or something?
Oh, look at this. Some hot new Twitter questions.
Here we go.
Okay. This one's for Brad.
Fire away.
At Phil Vox wants to know, what's the weirdest Carlos Mencia story you've got?
Okay, listen to this.
Okay, so I was Mencia's opener for 4 years. And
do you guys still get along? Are you friendly?
Yeah, we're friends.
So you can say something weird that happened with him that he wouldn't be offended?
Absolutely.
Okay, go.
We were on a tour bus together, and he was like on the bus and just really wanted to sleep with Carlos.
Okay, so that is a little choppy right there. I hope people believe me. He's saying there was a girl who wanted to get on the tour bus. Now he's going to fill in those blanks later. It is a little choppy in parts. This is a salvaged tape. What he's talking about is...
we didn't edit the tape.
We didn't edit any of this.
We just edited out you talking about it.
We just edited out me talking about it.
Because the only place that this exists is Redbar.
Exactly. So he's talking about a girl wanted to get on Carlos's tour bus to blow him. She was a big fan, wanted to meet Carlos, wanted to blow him. This is what people used to do in the 90s. Listen.
And just really wanted to sleep with Carlos and was in the back of got on the bus, actually blew our driver to get on the bus. And then was
Listen.
Who are you, Kiss?
apparently she was in the
Or that
back
is
waiting.
sexy driver?
I tour with the wrong people. Nobody's getting blown.
So she was. So she's in the back, and Mencia's married. He's not going to do anything. So he turned off all the lights, and then sent me in. And then I started hooking up with the girl. And
Listen.
it went for a good 15 minutes before she realized that, I mean, Mencia's tiny, but he shouldn't have stubby arms like that. And then finally she realized that she was having sex with me.
What the fuck? That's what's called a switcheroo. Do you hear this incredible story that he claims is a joke? I don't know. I've never heard a joke like this, where you just tell a completely realistic story from a tour that you went on with Carlos Mencia. Here's the story again, if you didn't get it. He's on this tour bus with Carlos Mencia. A girl's knocking on the door. I want to have sex with Carlos. Carlos is married. He gets this all the time. So he goes, let's pull a funny prank on her. They turn off all the lights. They say, come on in. Carlos is ready for you. And then they switch out for the in the starts.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, this is what he's saying. Starts screwing her. Then they flip on the lights. She goes, ah! And they all laugh. It's a classic 1970s switcheroo. Completely legal in the 70s. Would you like to hear that again? And the aftermath. You decide. Now remember, he has gone to great lengths to get this removed from everywhere, even messaging people personally, please don't let it out. It was a joke. It was a bad joke. Okay, maybe it was a bad joke, but you know what's even worse? If this was just a joke, it wasn't really a joke. This isn't a joke. It's not very funny, and if you watch the rest of this episode, and I'm not saying that in like the Shane Gillis way. Oh, he said, chink, how is that a joke? This was not a joke in the sense that Brad's joking doesn't sound like this. When Brad does a joke, it's very hammy and sounds like a joke. This sounds like a retelling of something that happened, and then he goes, oops.
Plus, he's answering a question.
He's answering
Someone
a question.
asked what happened.
It's not a bit.
What's your craziest Carlo Mencia story?
Yeah.
And he's telling the craziest story.
Exactly, and there's no joke here. He's telling the story, and it sounds like he's just fucking lying and saying, it was a joke. Now, this also is very bad for Carlos Mencia. Let me bring this up again. If this
He's
is
equally
true,
as guilty.
this is really, really bad, and we're going to put this out there. We're going to see if we can find this girl. What if this girl comes forward and says, yes, this is true? Girl, are you out there? Mike at redbarradio.net. Yikes! Email me. We'll give you $3,000. What if she comes forward? Oh, yes, it happened. The switcheroo happened. I couldn't believe it. He was stuck to my fucking back. I couldn't get him off me. Hey, everybody. We're back here today on the wonderful, incredible Redbar, and we're going over him. Look at that guy, huh? Big baby. Big baby doing the switcheroo. So what did he do? Let's rewind. Let's hear his story again. And let's listen for clues. Remember, he says this is a joke. Is this a joke or a story? It starts coming out of his mouth and he realizes, yikes, this is terrible. Let's erase this from the net. Let's take a listen. Here he comes.
Wants to know what's the weirdest Carlos Mencia story you've got?
Okay, listen to this.
Okay, so
Weirdest Carlos
I was
Mencia story.
Mencia's opener for 4 years. And
Do you guys still get along? Are you friendly?
yeah, we're friends.
So you can say something weird that happened with him that he wouldn't be offended?
Absolutely.
Okay, go.
When we were on a tour bus together.
So let's look at that. That is some deep thinking. They asked the question. This isn't like a joke. Oh, ha, 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 I got one for you. He goes, we were on a tour bus. So I see some memories working there. He's, digging up files on that drive there. That big-ass drive.
And he was like on the bus and just really wanted to sleep with Carlos. And was in the back of got on the bus, actually blew our driver to get on the bus. and then was
Listen.
Who are you, Kiss?
apparently she was in the
Or that
back
is
waiting.
sexy driver.
I tour with the wrong people. Nobody's getting blown.
So she
Doug
was.
goes to
So
light
she's in the
on.
back, and Mencia's married. He's not going to do anything. So he turned off all the lights, and then sent me in. And then I started hooking up with the girl. And
Listen.
it went for a good 15 minutes before she realized that, I mean, Mencia's tiny, but he shouldn't have stubby arms like that. And then finally she realized that she was having sex with me.
That's kind of, I feel like that's like a rape story.
Eddie Ift busts in. He goes, I feel like that's kind of a rape story. And Brad looks at him like this.
Uh-oh.
Brad looks at him like, fuck,
A
it is.
realization.
Because remember, back in the day, people did all sorts of wacky stuff. I mean, Bill Cosby was slipping in those Mickeys, in those tonics. People were kind of okay doing stuff like this. And this was before the Me Too movement, by the way. But I think when Brad's retelling this story from years prior, as it's coming out, he's going, uh-oh, I don't think this holds up to today's standards. Yikes. Am I in trouble? So listen to Eddie Ift again here. Listen to this.
A rape story. It's kind of, I feel like that's like a rape story.
That's not in a technical sense.
I think technically it is. Well, I hope this was over 7 years ago.
It was. The statute of limitations are good.
Now, he is what's called lip locked. He's doing this. He's going, yes. He's not the same Brad that we knew before. He's kind of deep thinking. You could see him. He's going, I hope this was 7 years ago. And they're all laughing. And Brad's just going, it was. It was. So this all seems very guilty here. Let's take a listen and see what else happens next.
It was good being. Nice knowing you, Brad.
Yeah.
Well, you think you could get in trouble somehow for what he did?
Yeah.
What does like rape pass through osmosis or something?
No, I'm just paranoid of everything, and I'm like, they're like, oh, do you have medical?
Look at how little Brad is sitting in the chair. I mean, he's kind of nervous. He's kind of going like this. What do I do? What do we do? What do we do? You know, and it was interesting because he didn't have this episode was this aired live and then it was uploaded to YouTube. This one here, this Getting Doug. We played it 2-3 days after it was up, and the minute we played it was the minute it was taken down. So Brad got word that we had played this clip on the show, and he ran to Doug, you got to take this down. Now, yes, to be fair, he could have been like, we got to take this down because it's going to be misinterpreted, right? Just like he's saying here today.
Possibly.
But I don't know. I've got eyes here, and I'm watching this story, and I'm going, this seems like he just...
If it was a joke, wouldn't he have said that was a joke after Eddie Ift
And again...
said it was a rape?
You know what? And I've got another angle here. Is this, a comedian joke or another instance of a comedian telling a straight up lie? Comedians do this all the time. They think, and this is like a wishy-washy place to be. They think that they're allowed to just kind of tell lies as long as they're entertaining. Now, there's a difference between a comedian exaggerating for a bit or doing a bit. The trick is, I think the audience has to know. Okay. So it doesn't work like if you're telling a straight up story that sounds real, you can't be like, it was a bit. No, that was a lie. A bit can be exaggerated, a bit can be fake, but the audience kind of has to know that it's fake. The audience can't be thinking that you're telling them the odds, the God's honest truth, and then sitting there and then you go, it's a bit. So when he says this is all a bit, well, okay, let's pretend it didn't really happen. It wasn't a bit, it was a lie. So if Brad is capable of just telling a lie this easily here on the show, what other lies has he told throughout his career? Yes, not as serious as of a charge as the switcheroo rape thing, but still pretty bad. This is pretty bad for a funny Brad. Either way, telling a lie, doing a switcheroo, which is worse. I think the lie is worse. All right, I don't care about the switcheroo. That's funny. That's some Scooby-Doo stuff. They did this in Scooby-Doo in the cartoon. This happened all the time. But a lie, yikes.
What does like rape pass through osmosis or something?
He's
No, I'm
nervous.
just paranoid of everything, and I'm like, they're like, oh, do you have a medic in Venice? You'd get one when you move there.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Well, you think you could get in trouble somehow for what he did?
Yeah.
Going back a little bit.
What does like rape pass through osmosis or something?
No, I'm just paranoid of everything, and I'm like, they're like,
he
oh,
knew.
do you have a medical marijuana? Yeah.
Trying to cover it up. So he knew. He goes, oh, yikes, man. I'd be way paranoid letting that out of my mouth. So there it is. And you saw that he just messaged a guy yesterday worried about this clip getting out. Brad, we are so sorry, man. But the girls of the world need to know we must keep our women safe. Mike saves. Thank you for listening to Redbar today. Thank you so much. Bye, Brad.